bit of a sample of what they're doing. So I went over to this location, and a couple of days. This is how they prepare it. I go into all these this whole week, 7 days. You see, I'm trying to talk and they won't let me. They're shooting an electronic device, but I'm going to try to talk and try to say something. Okay, so I go to these Craigslist and Facebook ads. I went to like 2 different other places prior to the one that I'm going to be moving into, and I notice when I get there, a lady's behaving exactly like my mother and then acting really nasty to me. So when I get there, she intentionally parks the car underneath the sun where it's burning hot. It's like burning. So I get in the car to make sure it's very comfortable. And it says on Mother's Day. Then there's a guy fixing a bike and he's crouching down like this. He goes, yeah, happy birthday. And he's like crouching down like he's screwing a little kid. And this is how they're doing these types of sickening things to me. So I leave, I get to this other place to get somebody to look like Ken Cooper, behave like Ken Cooper. And this person is entirely engulfing themselves in my mother's character or trying to pretend to be them. And so then they start calling me mijo and they start saying real nasty things because they're in this vengeance fight for superior victory for, to make Sarah Cooper look like she's a fucking goddamn angel. Nobody understands what these people had fucking done because they're involved with the police department, corrupted police department. But anyway, when I get there, the lady says, yes, está muy caliente, ¿verdad? And she tells me, yeah, it's real hot, isn't it? Like telling me, yeah, you want me to burn you? And so they start to put that on me. So what they're going to do, a couple of days later after that, and this was last week, a couple of days later, they don't turn on the AC inside this house. And I have to call somebody and say, can you turn on the AC? It's really hot. So they turn on the AC, and look, they associate this. You see how the crucifix is? How they have the crucifix? Okay, well this is the air conditioner. And it has a key to it. So they're going to associate the fact that it feels comfortable, air conditioner, with Jesus Christ. You see? And so they use these methods that I told you who you're going to worship and how you're going to worship, because if you don't do what I tell you to do, you're going to live on the streets, and we're going to make sure it's very uncomfortable. Worship, and I tell you how a black nigga goes. And they play these racist shit onto me, and they correlate them. I don't know how many other people are able to observe what these people are fucking doing to me. But this guy, like whenever he was dropping off something, like all the belongings over to this location, he's pretending like he can't speak English, yet he owns a fucking $700,000. He owns a $1 million fucking house, and he's pretending like he doesn't know how to speak English correctly. And he does. He's very smart. But anyway, they play these character roles, and they're doing it to justify and help Sarah and Ken Cooper. And when I was at his house, they shot some electronic device that fucking raped me in my fucking ass. And then he behaves like Ken Cooper would have when he knows he did something real wrong. And he does this. And I'm walking in the kitchen, and he goes like this. And he does this behavior as soon as they're raping me in my rectum with this electronic device to then alleviate the emotional department over with this motherfucker. So, like I said, I think it's important for me to say this, because that's what they're going to be, that's what they're doing right now. So I want to let you know this other place that I'm going out, they removed the bed. The guy looks a little bit like Julian, or Julian's twin. He looks like him, and he's behaving exactly like Richard Martinez, which was the one dancing at the college campus. And they start bringing up whatever, I don't know if Michael had a stroke, Rossiter, or Frankie's the one that had a stroke, or I think he could have been talking about my biological father still being alive, and he's walking with a cane that had a stroke or a heart attack. So I think it's important for me to say this. This is all conditioning of what they're doing to me. It's to modify me and submit me and put me where they want to place me. Now, I think it's important because George Bush, this guy's behaving exactly like George Bush. Like, they do these characters and they make sure they wear clothing like George Bush would have been wearing, and they start insinuating these threats. So when they're confining me to this trap house and these trap houses and this imprisonment that they're doing, he gets on the phone, he goes, like, and he does that like he's giving orders, like, I tell you where I'm going to fucking kill and what I need to get rid of. And they play this slavery shit. So I think that it's important for me to say this because I know that it's going to be uncomfortable, most likely. It's a Mexican place, junkyards, they have a lot of junk. And I spoke to the guy, seemed friendly, Mexican guy. But I wanted to say this. I haven't met the other guy, and it's a small house, very crowded with a bunch of junk inside. So I think I needed to say this because this is how they're going to associate. Now, I just start my job this Monday at the Sahara's Casino being a table dealer. They're going to associate table dealing cards. Like, oh, you're going to play that card for Sarah Cooper? Or are you going to play this card? No, I tell you transgender for Barack Obama. And no, we rape your mother. No, we rape you and then we get away with it. Jesus Christ, no. Give him AC right now. You see how that works? And so they keep refining me repeatedly over and over and over doing this type of behavior. Now I'm upstairs, and this is how they condition the situation. Remember when you're downstairs? Remember, that's bad and that's the devil. That's evil, right? But when you come up, you see how the angel of Jesus works because you're on stage now. You see how that is? Or you're on stage in a DJ crowd. You're supposed to stay up here because I conditioned you with Jesus Christ to be a DJ. I told you what the fuck you're going to do. And so they do this type of behavior. They, excuse my words, because this is exactly what they're fucking doing. They put these situations and they made me shit so much out of my rectum. I started having brain hemorrhages like 3 weeks ago, and I don't know what it was, but it was something that they were doing to me that was causing me to have some sort of like seizures. And I've never had seizures my whole life. I've had one what seemed to have been like some sort of minor stroke when I was very young. I was about 19, right before it was during the time when I had aplastic anemia. But I started brain hemorrhaging that I've never had, like spasms or some shit. Like, I wouldn't say spasms, they were like seizures of some kind. And I was at this other house, and they were depleting something inside my intestines, and it was happening here as well a couple of times. And they're emptying out my gut so rigorously so that my blood pressure rises, and it'll cause me to either have a massive stroke and kill me, or have me murdered, or have me terrorized. So now that they've already conditioned me to, in order to have these types of miniature type of strokes or seizures, they immediately transfer me over to, okay, let's kill them. You see how I work? I get to kill, just like the Marine shot and all those fucking Al Qaeda members for George Bush. You have to kill, and then you put the cross, and that's what they do. And it's very frightening what these people are doing. It's very confined. It's very controlled. It's very intentional. There's nothing confusing about the situation. They're just using my health and deteriorating health to their advantages. So, like I said, I'm watching a lot of videos on Instagram. Everything I do on video games, everything is being viewed on a screen and transported to these homosexuals and gay community members and blasted all over television, live in Kelly Reverb, Reapa, or all these TV shows, and it's being mocked and played by so many hateful people, so many persecuting homosexuals, and riots, and they're blasting this all over television on top of the entire society of human existence. And everywhere I go, it's just focused on persecuting me and conditioning me. So I needed to make this video to tell y'all what's going on. I'm going to be going to this house. The guy starts saying things that's going to be applying to how they're going to not turning the air conditioner on. It's $600. So when I start saying, he starts telling me, oh no, it's because I can't pay my bills. But he doesn't say, oh, I'm not going to turn on the AC. He starts implying these types of words so that when I get there, it's already implanting it into my head where the fuck I'm going to do and what the hell you're going to do. Or I tell you one of my orders, like, bye, see ya, fuck you. And they do these horrible fucking things, yet they have a crucifix here. And they do this to me. They don't do anything else. Like, nobody understands. They're shooting these electronic devices at me non-stop. I'm not kidding you. I was having trouble getting out of bed because they were depleting anything in my stomach and gut so violently. It is not a disease. They're doing this on purpose with an electronic device. But I wanted to make this video. I'll be heading out there at 6 o'clock. This guy is giving me a lot of trouble with not giving me a deposit. It's like, look, I just need my money. I'm as polite as I can. I'm as clear as I can. And he's playing very ingenious ways to sell me for sex. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And he's mocking the situation of George Bush. Now, my father spoke to the President of the United States right before the World Trade Centers collapsed in the terrorist attack, and they're associating with this with me and persecuting me. I was downstairs yesterday, and they were fucking me and raping me in my ass with these electronic devices so violently he started to say, and I got real pissed off, and this is how George Bush is doing this with his political white power and his white supremacy and his niggas for Barack Obama, is that I get pissed off, and I said that I was going to be using the World Trade Center directly against, in hateful attacks against the president if he doesn't stop. And so they're implanting negative implants by raping me to say things to try to defend myself and say, no, I need to kill him. Okay, so when Hector dies, kill him. Okay, now put the crucifix. And that's what they're doing. These are doing sacrificial, like almost the best, closest away is like a sacrifice of satanic rituals or some shit. There's nothing holy about what they're doing to me. But I needed to make this video because this is what they're doing to me. I don't want to be associated with this. And this is exactly what they're fucking doing. So I wanted to make this video. I'm having some sort of brain hemorrhages earlier. And it hasn't happened in the last probably 4 or 5 days. But it was happening because they were depleting, and I've lost about 25 fucking pounds. And they're doing this intentionally. But I eat very healthy, so that even if I lose weight, I know it's healthy because I'm losing more fat than anything else and unwanted weight. But I do have low blood pressure. The last couple of times that I've gone to the doctor, and they said it was a little low, and it stayed that way. I don't know if it's my disease. I don't know if they're lying to me. And they're persecuting me inside the nurses' offices and the psychiatrists when I go and visit them, making me play stupid as a guy was pretending to be Barack Obama and behaving like him. And basically telling me, if you don't shut up, I'll take you to the mental hospital. Or, I'm not kidding you, just foul-mouthing me in any way that's possible. So I need to make this video. I'm going to be leaving at 6 o'clock. And I've done nothing but try to be kind, polite, cleaning after myself, do anything I can. And it's very, very difficult. They're just setting up trap houses in every place that I go and then beating me with electronic devices. As soon as I left yesterday, after agreeing to move into this house, I'm walking down the street and they had, you know those dogs that they use, in the war? They're Belgium Shepherds or Malinois dogs. But they had like a puppy, kind of like a teenager, didn't look fully grown. And I'm walking all the way to the bus stop down the street, and the dog charges at me like it's going to attack me. And it charges and it scrumbles all over the ground. And like, I don't know, this dog was trained. I've never seen a dog ever do this before. This dog is trained. This dog runs over and scoodles all this like it was going to attack me. And it scrumbles all over the ground, on the ground, and it spews all this like ground like it's, stopping, in his fury of rocks and dirt fly at me. And this dog was trained, and this is what they're fucking doing. This is to sell me for sex. All they're doing is claiming the dead bodies out in Iraq and then putting that on me and saying, no, I need to kill who I need to kill and do for George because I kill for the white race. I kill for the Marine that died. And that's all they're motivated in doing. It's nothing good. Nothing good. There's a lot of Mexican people that died out there that were straight, no faggot motherfuckers out there that claim to be doing this. And this is what everybody's doing. Constantly, non-stop. If it's not the crucifix, it's just, it's non-stop to persecute me with anything, and then using the President of the United States to do this to me. This is not an accidental death. Something happens to me. If my health deteriorates, I have a massive stroke, something happens. This is a planned out murder, and it's in groups of people that are going to be covering this up. So I am as polite as I possibly can in every home that I come into. I clean after myself. I pay the rent immediately, make it as convenient as I can, and they're just doing this intentionally to me. They're not allowing me to find a place to live. They keep tracking me down. They keep setting up these trap houses from place to place. And in some cases, like one of the houses I went to that had some paintings, they're associating Akiane Krameric, who is the Jesus painter that I saw at McDonald's, and they're making a mockery of the situation, and then you put that on me as well. And so when I went to this other house, this lady grabbed her arm and she goes like this. She grabbed her arm and she was pointing at a dog. She was pointing at a dog and she goes like this. And she does this, and there was a white Alaskan looking dog that had like white eyes, white hair. And I don't know if there's another celebrity or someone with a lot of money who's trying to help me protect what these people are doing to me by setting up their own investigations or their own safety, which I'm very grateful and thankful for. But please be careful, because they're going to retaliate against that because someone may try to help me. They want to confine me in their own personal entrapment of prisons to do what they say.